मेरे पास में पैसे नहीं है तो मैं क्या करूँ। और देखते ही देखते मेरी बहन मेरे आंखों के सामने मर गई। लेकिन मर गई थी तब तो उसके आंखों में था कि दीदी मुझे बचा ले, मैं मरना नहीं चाहती क्योंकि मुझसे छोटी थी, 1 साल छोटी थी मुझसे, और वो बचना चाहती थी लेकिन नहीं बचा पाया, सिर्फ और सिर्फ पैसा नहीं है। और तब मुझे लगा कि पैसा कितना जरूरी है इंसान के लिए। अगर इंसान के पास पैसा ना हो तो हमारे अपने में हमें किस तरह से छोड़ के चले जाते हैं। तो हमें ये पैसा कमाना बहुत ज़रूरी है। और फिर मैंने अपनी कोशिशें शुरू की। मैंने गवर्नमेंट का लोन लिया 50,000 रुपये का। 50,000 का लोन लिया, मैंने अपना बिजनेस स्टार्ट किया। अपने बिजनेस स्टार्ट करने के साथ साथ मैंने एक यूथ सूचित बेरोजगार युवक संगठन भी बनाई कि मुझे जिस तरह से लोन मिला, जिस तरह से मैं बिजनेस कर रही हूँ, इस तरह से यूथ भी मेरा करे, क्योंकि सरकार हर किसी को नौकरी नहीं दे सकता। तो इसके लिए ये लोगों को भी मैंने लोन देना शुरू कर दिया। तो ये जो मेरा अच्छा काम लोगों तक जा रहा था, तो लोग ये कह रहे थे कि नहीं ये लेडी जो है ये बड़ा अच्छा काम करती है, तो कोई भी प्रॉब्लम आता मेरे पास आ जाते। तो इसी तरह से एक प्लॉट मेरे पास आया। उस प्लॉट पर तो बहुत सारे लिटिगेशन थे, लिटिगेशन मैंने दूर किए। लिटिगेशन वाला था इसलिए 2.5 लाख में मिला था, लेकिन जैसे ही लिटिगेशन दूर हो गया 50 लाख का बन गया। और जैसे 50 लाख का बन गया तो फिर मेरे पास में कोई बिल्डिंग बनाने के लिए तो है नहीं, तो मैंने किसी को पार्टनर ले लिया। तो 65% उसका, 35% मेरा। इस तरह मैं बिल्डिंग बनाने गई। लेकिन उस वक्त की जो सिचुएशन थी, क्योंकि ये 99 की बात है, तो एक पुरुष प्रधान देश में एक स्त्री, वो भी बुद्धिस्ट दलित, वो आगे आकर अगर बिल्डर बनती है तो वो तो फील्ड भी नहीं है ना औरतों की, वो उस वक्त सोचते थे। तो इतना उन लोगों को बुरा लगा कि मेरी सुपारी तक के दी गई कि ये लेडी जो है बहुत आगे बढ़ रही है, इसको खत्म कर दिया जाए। और इस तरह से मेरी सुपारी दी गई। 5 लाख रुपए की सुपारी थी उस जमाने में मुझे दी, 99 में। मैं पुलिस कमिश्नर के पास गई, क्योंकि ऐसे हालत में कोई भी डर के अपने गाँव चला जाता है, लेकिन मैं डरी नहीं, क्योंकि बाबा साहब की बेटी हो ना, डर कैसे सकती हूँ। तो मैं पुलिस कमिश्नर के पास गई, उनको मैंने कहा कि इस तरह से मेरी सुपारी दी गई है साहब। बोले ऐसे कैसे, आपको कैसे पता चला? साहब पता लगा ना आपकी बात काम है, क्योंकि पुलिस डिपार्टमेंट आपके पास है, मेरे काम पे ये बात है, मैंने आपको बताना जरूरी समझा। पुलिस ने जब चेक किया तो पता चला कि वाकई में कुछ लोग थे जो मुझे मारना चाहते थे। पुलिस ने पकड़ा, जो भी करना था किया। बाद में मुझे पूछा कि एक काम करो, आप जब बिजनेस में आ ही गए हो तो हो सकता है कि आगे भी आपके साथ में ऐसा हो, आप अपने साथ में सिक्योरिटी लेकर घुमा करो। नहीं साहब, अगर आपको देना है तो मुझे रिवॉल्वर लाइसेंस दे दीजिए। जब तक उस रिवॉल्वर में 6 गोली है, मुझे कोई माइकल आर मार नहीं सकता है, क्योंकि हमारे बाबा साहब ने कहा 100 दिन भेड़ बकरियों की तरह जीने से अच्छा है कि एक दिन शेर की तरह जीना चाहिए। और फिर मौत को कौन डरता है, क्योंकि मैं तो मौत से मिलकर आई हुई थी, मुझे मौत से डर नहीं लगता है। लेकिन मैं अन्याय होने नहीं दूंगी, मैं अपना अच्छे से काम कर रही हूँ, मैं कर रही हूँ। तो मैडम इसी तरह से मेरी जर्नी शुरू हो गई। फिर मेरे पास में मैं शुगर फैक्ट्री की डायरेक्टर बन गई, मैं बिल्डर बन गई। और उसके बाद में, क्योंकि टाइम कम है, मेरी हिस्ट्री बहुत लंबी चौड़ी है, तो मैं थोड़े में ही बता दूंगी। तो मेरी कम्युनिटीज की जो हिस्ट्री है वो वाकई में अपने आप में बहुत बड़ी बात है। एक ऐसी कंपनी, जिस कंपनी की हिस्ट्री ऐसी कि नेहरू गांधी का जिसको वारसा है, ऐसी कंपनी। नेहरू जी के मित्र और गांधी जी के शिष्य हुआ करते थे रामजी भाई कमानी, शायद साहब को बहुत अच्छे से उनके बारे में मालूम है। और वो जब कंपनी सिक यूनिट में चली गई तो 2 कंपनियां लिक्विडेशन में चली गई, और एक कंपनी बचाने के लिए उसके वर्कर्स मेरे पास आए, और उस कंपनी को बचाने की मैंने पूरी कोशिश की। आज मेरी जो कंपनी है, मैं कम वक्त में थोड़ा सा बता के खत्म कर रही हूँ। और कोर्ट ने हमें 2006 में कंपनी चलाने के लिए 2006 से 2011 तक हमें टाइम दिया था कि 2011 में आपको सिक्का से बाहर निकलना है। कंपनी के ऊपर 116 करोड़ का कर्जा, 140 लिटिगेशन के केसेस और 2 बड़ी यूनियन, जिसमें हमारी भारत में लाल बाउटा गांधी यूनियन। तो इतनी बड़ी लिटिगेशन वाली कंपनी को मैंने टेक ओवर किया, जबकि कोई भी अच्छे से अच्छा भी शख्स आ गया कि उसको करना नहीं चाहता था, क्योंकि लिटिगेशन इतने सारे थे। लेकिन उन सारे लिटिगेशन को 2006 से कोर्ट ने कहा था 2011 में बाहर निकलना है सिक्का से। और मैडम बताते हुए खुशी होती है कि मैं वाकई में 2011 में सिक्का से बाहर निकल गई। 116 करोड़ का कर्जा मैंने पूरा खत्म किया, और 4.5 करोड़ रुपया एक्स्ट्रा मेरे बैलेंस से आ गया। इस तरह से काफ़ी स्ट्रगल करना पड़ा, काफ़ी मेहनत करनी पड़ी कई बार, यहाँ तक कि मतलब जो भी मुसीबतें आई उसका मैंने सामना किया, और मैं आगे बढ़ती चली गई। मैं थोड़े में बता दूँ, सिर्फ एक ही बात बताना चाहती हूँ कि जिस लड़की को कभी रहने के लिए घर नहीं था, वो बिल्डर बन के घर बन बेचती है। इस लड़की के पास में 60 पैसे 60 पैसे वो नहीं हुआ करते थे, तो कुर्ला से लेकर चेंबूर तक पैदल जाया करती थी। आज लग्जरी गाड़ियों में 50,000 के लोन के लिए 1.5 से 2 साल तक चप्पल घिस गए थे। मैं भारतीय महिला बैंक की डायरेक्टर बनी और 50,000 का लोन 50 करोड़ का लोन क्या हो मुथूट फाइनेंस को मेरे साइन से पास हो गया। तो इस तरह से ये जो सारी चेंजेस है, मुझे लगता है ये सिर्फ और सिर्फ डॉक्टर बाबा साहब आम्बेडकर की देन है। और इसी वजह से मैडम, जिस समाज में कभी खाना नसीब नहीं था, जिस समाज को कभी पहनने के लिए ढंग के कपड़े नहीं थे, जिस समाज के पास रहने के लिए घर नहीं थे, आज वो लड़की घर बेच रही है। उसी को उद्योग और ट्रेड में पद्मश्री मिली है। और आज 8 मार्च को हमारी शक्ति भी मुझे मिल रही है। तो बस मैं बहुत
बहुत धन्यवाद कल्पना दीदी। इसके बाद मेरे पास कल्पना दीदी के लिए कहने के लिए शब्द नहीं है, लेकिन मैं हमारे माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने जो कहा था कल्पना दीदी जी के बारे में, वो मैं कहना चाहता हूँ, उद्धृत करना चाहता हूँ। और वो ये था कि जिंदगी में उन्होंने ये कहा था, ये उनके शब्द हैं कि जिंदगी में किसी को भी अगर ऐसा लगे कि मुझे आत्महत्या करनी है, विवंचनाओं से गुजर रहा है, उसकी जिंदगी टूटी हुई है, किसी का भी हो सकता है, अच्छे घर से है, कहीं से भी है, तो एक बार जिंदगी में एक बार कल्पना जी को फोन कीजिए। ये माननीय प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी ने कहा है उनके साथ। इसके बाद में आफ्टर दिस आई वुड लाइक आवर नेक्स्ट स्पीकर इज राइट ऑनरेबल लॉर्ड स्वराज पॉल, एंड ही हैज बीन for Tej or our organization, I always say, because Tej, Ganesh, and we are all the first generation migrants, and Right Honorable Lord Swaraj Paul has been like an elder person for us. And the first thing he said when we meet Tej and Ganesh went to see him, in the first meeting, he said to us that Indians are born entrepreneurs. And so I would like our elderly figure, and I would like to say this with a bit of pride and love for him. The first member of Indian Chamber of Youth Entrepreneurs, Right Honorable Lord Swaraj Paul, to
ladies and gentlemen, first of all, my apology for getting late that day. There has been a taxi strike and the whole area of the parliament was blocked, and nobody who had his own car would get out from there because no taxi, etc. So the only thing I can say is I was delayed by a lady, a very famous lady, Betty Woodroy, who was the first women speaker of this country. She is a colleague in the House of Lords. She told me, Swaraj, will you drop me? And I have to take her to Chelsea, come back. So I can blame women only. I wanted very much to be on time. That's why I told Mr. Rajan and Ganesh that I said the latest I'll be there by 6 o'clock. Because I wanted to welcome you. I've been here long enough and we are delighted. I wish you are here. You have been busy from the day you are here. And as I did agree in you, we get 2 for the price of one. Her husband was also a very seasoned diplomat. he still is, except that he retired a couple of years ago. But Government of India gets free advice without paying for it. I am always in favor of that. I also want to congratulate Rajan to Mr. India, because I know how much effort he put to get this organized. Rajan, I know you are going to leave us very soon, but we wish you all the best in your new assignment. No, he must go for a higher assignment. Kalpana, it was inspiring to hear you speak. One thing I tell you, before you were born, I used to do business. I used to be based in Calcutta. I am delighted to know that you have been able to establish something and build it. I always had a lot of faith in the ability of women. Anybody who's married 62 years knows I was in Delhi when Dr. Patil was the president. My daughter was his age. And as the luck would have it, we ended up with 3 appointments, one after the other. First with the president, then with the speaker, Leela, then the chief police, Sheila Dixit, lady. My daughter asked me, she says, Papa, is there any man here? I said, you will meet plenty of them. In April, there is an organization, Women Economic Forum, which started part of that. I am speaking at opening there. In Delhi, I did it as a meeting. So women have far more power than in my view. They give credit for it. Minus the as far as we are concerned, the first one. Women power has been, in my view, not used by them. And I agree with Kalpana what he said. Parents did not let them do the education. India, even today, we are talking about 35-38% women who have been to the university. Just imagine if twice as much had gone. You don't find anybody other than women to do it all the things. Because they are more serious, they work hard. I, for one, know that I know whatever I am. So, it's wonderful that you got it today, that this is the function to honor women entrepreneurs. We need more of them. It's time that we take over and we have the manpower to be able to take over and we can really share the Bible. But we have to work. We have to do respect. Britain has recognized ourselves. So I don't want to take a lot of your time, but certainly I hope you are working hard. Yes, we are delighted with both our items that we have.
Thank you, Lord Bob. And now I would like to say that we will have felicitations if Your Excellency and other distinguished guests permit us. I would like the President of Indian Chamber of Youth Entrepreneurs to give a token, a momentum to Her Excellency, Mrs. Uchi and Shah, please. A token of gratitude. Thank you. May I now request Mr. Sekhon to present a token of gratitude to Padma Shri Kalpana Saroj. May I request our President to give a token of gratitude, as I said, to the first member of Indian Chamber of Youth Entrepreneurs, Lord Swaraj Paul. Now, I would like to give this token of gratitude to our Deputy High Commissioner, Mr. Charanjit Singh ji. I would also like to give a token of gratitude to Rajan ji, who is one of our elderlies whom we always go to. And this idea of Indian Chamber of Youth Entrepreneurs, or LIBN, or IYP, have also crystallized, have germinated to the thought and action of Rajan ji. So I would. I also request Mrs. Anita Goyal. Anita Goyal is the director, one of the leading speakers today, and she is the director of Hemraj Foundation. And she has done a lot of philanthropic work in India. And as happens with ICYE, that we are, or IYPN, or ILBN, that we connect through. So I would like Mrs. Swapna Tore, who is a small entrepreneur, who is going to speak today. And she has started, and I'm really proud that she has started a small business from her home, to come, and I would like one of the speakers. So I would like her to receive a token of gratitude. Thank you very much, all of you. And now, well, now I will proceed. Before the event proceeds, I would like to say that I'm I'm really proud that this we could be successfully making events around women and their success and celebrate it. And so I don't think that I should take the mic anymore, and I will really pass it to my colleague Chandni now for the further event to come.
Thank you, Siddharth. Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, Your Excellency, esteemed guests. It's an honour to be here today. I'm not going to speak too much, but what I would like to do is introduce our next speaker. So this is Mrs. Anita Goyal. She is the CEO of Hemraj Goyal Foundation. She's currently the honorary chair of Bernardo's FGM appeal, among many other things that I'm sure she'll come and share with you. Please welcome her, please.
Wasn't expecting such honour this evening, so I'm truly honoured to be here. Your Excellency, thank you for inviting me to share a few words, and look forward to perhaps we will continue to guests here today. I'm here with my friend Hiro, and I say her name because I like to always have somebody with me, and so I'm proud to bring my friend here today because I think in the space of the world, it's good for women to collaborate and do things together. And that's where I have found my true power in everything that I have embarked on in my philanthropic journey as being the CEO of the Hemraj Goyal Foundation. However, what I want to do is tell you a very short story about the person who really deserves all the honour, and that is my mother-in-law, Santosh Goyal. And she lost her son, so I'll begin the story in India, in Punjab, in Moga, and she made a decision with now 8 of her children. She first had 9. Her son passed away at the age of 18. She made a decision that it was time to leave India and come to London to see what she can do for her children, to have a better life for her family, alongside her husband who had already left and was waiting for his family. And she embarked on what was quite a challenging and difficult journey, and she decided to do that because she was passionate about making a really great life and supporting her children so that they could be the best they could be. What she didn't know was that all her children had a wonderful entrepreneurial spirit that to this day I really am so grateful to be part of the Goyal family, because it gives me a platform and support to run our family foundation, which was set up in memory of my late father-in-law, Hemraj Goyal. And my husband, Avnish Goyal, he decided that our children were different. We call it the disadvantage of advantage. When you have succeeded in business and you have dedicated your life to, say, the care sector, and he built a great property portfolio with his entire family, the entrepreneurial spirit didn't stop them in progressing in their giving. And what my husband Avnish decided to do, with his mother's blessings and guidance and everything that he's done with the family, he absolutely acknowledges and appreciates his upbringing and his shiksha and all of the knowledge that my mother-in-law, Santosh, passed on to him. And she's a wonderful woman, so strong. Last year we had a very difficult year and she nearly passed away. She was in hospital in London and countless doctors said that she wasn't going to make it. Countless, like numerous amounts. And the amount of time the family gathered to say their last goodbye with our Mataji. She's still here today, fighting strong and fit. And if you follow us on Facebook and social media, you can see some of the stuff we've been up to with her this weekend. Her teachings are truly inspirational. And I think often what happens is, with the rat race of life and this hamster wheel that we often get into, and women that are spinning so many plates, your children, your families, your extended families, your work life, and all that balance, it can be really quite tiring and exhausting. Now, for me, I've had a lot of support, and I can give lots and lots of tips on how I do my stuff, and I have joined so many women's groups that have helped me to grow personally. my mother-in-law. She's one woman that can give me so much advice and knowledge and understanding. And she still has her moments where she'll nag, but truly she means it from her heart. And what she's trying to say is that I love you, I love all my children, and I love all my grandchildren, and I want them all to do so well. So the entrepreneurial story of my husband led him to start our family foundation. And what he decided was one day when he saw that our eldest son Arnon was actually not really appreciating the fact that he had such good food on his table, and he didn't manage to finish his food. So his father said, you know, there are people in Africa and India that are starving and have no food. He didn't know anything different, and he looked up at his father and said to him, well, Dad, why don't you just pack the food and post it to these children? And what my husband got to understand from that was, there's no point in saying this to children these days. They won't understand it. So why not get them into some kind of charity work? And he started to explore philanthropy at such a great level. And we call it Next Generation Philanthropy. And his vision was to engage every single child in the family, his brother's children, his sister's children, all 24 grandchildren of Hemraj Kaur. And he set the foundation up in 2010 in a vision to create a charity, a foundation, where children were able to give up their time, to volunteer, to get really passionate and purposeful about giving their time and fundraising and doing all kinds of different events, and bringing and inspiring and influencing other young people to also come on board and to absolutely give back to society and people who are not as advantaged as they are. Now, our children are fortunate because they have so many fantastic opportunities to do so many great things. I was born here in East London, and I have been so fortunate. The education system and what was provided to me, being educated in state schools. I went to Queen Mary University in London, and I went on to become a teacher eventually, doing my teacher training at UCL, Institute of Education. And the opportunities that this country has given me have been phenomenal. And I think young people and young entrepreneurs should take every opportunity that they can and link up with India, such an amazing country. I just came back from there last week, and every single time I go back, I am so impressed and surprised. And on the other side, I feel very sad of the way that some of the children, some of the women are treated. So my husband and I decided to throw ourselves in this work and to really come across so many projects that have really inspired us to bring on our family and our friends to also give. Now, philanthropy is such a big subject, but one thing I will say is it's not just about writing a check and giving money. It's about giving up your time, your energy, and to inspire and influence other people to come on board with you for the causes that you're representing and you're fighting for. So, as a woman, I would say my greatest honour is my mother-in-law, and she's been our greatest guide in all the philanthropy that we do. That's all from me. I hope you all have a wonderful evening, and it's been an absolute honour to be here. I'm so happy. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you very much. Inspiring words and a great story. Next up, as Mr. Rajan said earlier, we are an organisation that likes to collaborate, and we've got some members from other organisations here today with us. And so I'd like to invite to share her words with you, the co-founder of the London Indian Business Network, Mrs. Surya Prabha.
Network, we are really new, and this social platform, we wanted our new young entrepreneurs to come and be together, work together, and grow together. We really wanted to bring our Indians from India and connect them to our Indian, connect them to our Indian diaspora. Since we are very new to this social platform, we invite everyone to join in our group and help us to grow. And it's a charity organization and it's a social platform. So kindly join with us and help us to grow. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Just going to let the hustle bustle at the back die down a little bit. Right, next up, we like to celebrate people from all walks of life. So we're not here just to celebrate all the big names and the CEOs and people who have already made so many contributions, but we also want to recognise the work that so many of us are doing, the little things, or not even little things, the big things that we're doing, but that maybe people don't know about. Every one of us, like Siddharth said earlier, has a businessman or businesswoman within us, even if we're not entrepreneurs or we're not working in business. But so many of us do take those first little steps and set up those businesses from home and then grow them from literally nothing to everything. So our next speaker is a businesswoman that we're very proud to have with us. She has initiated an online sweet making business, Healthy Snacks and Sweets, and we'd be delighted, Swapna, if you could come up and share a few words with us. Thank you. Swapna Tole.